Welcome to the ultimate hub for everything Formula One, where the news moves as fast as the cars on the track. We are diving straight into the future of the sport as Incheon Mayor Yoo Jeongbok makes a bold move to bring a Grand Prix to Korea by 2028. A new preliminary feasibility study shows a street circuit in Songdo Moonlight Festival Park could be a massive economic win for the city, projecting billions in revenue and thousands of new jobs. It is an ambitious plan that aims to put Korea back on the global racing map.
Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
The global landscape of motorsport is shifting as we look at how Formula One is navigating its deep reliance on Saudi Arabia. As the region grapples with the new geopolitical realities surrounding the ongoing conflict involving the USA, Israel, and Iran, the sport finds itself at a critical crossroads. We are tracking how these complex tensions are forcing F1 organizers and teams to reconsider their long-term strategies and venue security in an increasingly unpredictable world. Big changes are rippling through the paddock at Red Bull Racing as the team scrambles to fix their recent performance struggles. In a major technical reshuffle, Red Bull has recruited Andrea Landi from their sister team Racing Bulls to serve as the new head of performance. This move comes as the team looks to move past their 2026 car woes and support technical director Pierre Wash, signaling a desperate and aggressive push to return to the front of the grid. Finally, the paddock is buzzing over the massive career shift for Gianpiero Lambiase, who has officially accepted a move to McLaren as chief racing officer for 2028. Max Verstappen has opened up about the emotional conversation, confirming he fully backed his longtime race engineer to take the life-changing opportunity. Will this move shake up the championship dynamics, and should Red Bull cut ties early? We have all the details, so hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay ahead of every lap. Ever imagined the roar of Formula One engines echoing through the modern skyline of Incheon? It might sound like a dream, but the city is officially making a play to put South Korea back on the F1 map by 2028. This isn't just a casual conversation anymore. The city has released a preliminary feasibility study, and the numbers are actually turning heads. We're talking about a projected 1.16 trillion won in revenue over 5 years, significantly outpacing the costs of hosting. It's an ambitious bet, but Incheon is looking at the success of circuits like Monaco, Las Vegas, and Singapore and thinking, why not us? The plan centers on a nearly 5-kilometer street circuit around the Songdo Moonlight Festival Park, where cars could hit blistering top speeds of 337 kilometers per hour. Now I know what you're thinking. What about the noise, the traffic, and the logistical nightmare of a street circuit? The city has already addressed that, proposing everything from heavy-duty noise barriers to massive shuttle systems to keep things moving. But let's keep it real. The path to the finish line isn't just about track design. There's a mountain of bureaucratic red tape, government approvals, and naturally, some political pushback as local elections loom. While Mayor Yoo Jeongbok sees this as a total game changer for the city's brand and tourism, potentially creating 4,800 jobs, others are urging a more cautious approach. Incheon is moving fast, aiming to secure private operators by the end of this year. It's a bold, high-stakes gamble on the future of international sports in Korea. If they pull it off, Incheon could cement itself as a global destination. But the race to get there is just as intense as the competition on the asphalt. What do you think? Is a street circuit in Incheon the right move for the sport, or is this too much of a financial risk? Drop a comment below, hit that subscribe button to keep up with the story, and remember, in the world of F1, it doesn't matter how you start. It's all about who crosses the finish line first. Ever wondered why the glamorous, high-speed world of Formula One seems inextricably linked to the volatile geopolitical chessboard of the Middle East? It is a question that is becoming impossible to ignore as the sport deepens its reliance on Saudi Arabia, while the region teeters on the edge of a new, terrifying reality sparked by the escalating USA-Israel-Iran conflict. We are talking about billions in investment, massive long-term contracts, and a sport that positions itself as a global showcase, now finding itself caught in a crossfire that no amount of aero engineering can outrun. Think about it. F1 is betting its future on a region undergoing a seismic shift. When you inject that much money into a country, you don't just get a racetrack. You get a seat at a table where the stakes aren't just championship points, but regional stability and international security. It is a gamble that raises uncomfortable questions about corporate responsibility, the ethics of sports washing, and whether the show can really go on when the background scenery is changing this drastically. As the geopolitical landscape shifts, one has to wonder if F1's leadership has truly calculated the price of their partnership. Are they prepared for the fallout if the situation spirals further, or are they just hoping the checkered flag comes down before the real-world chaos catches up? Hit that subscribe button and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think sports and politics should stay separate, or is it already too late for that conversation? At the end of the day, speed might win races, but it can't outpace history. Think Red Bull is untouchable. Think again. After years of utter dominance, the team that defined an era is suddenly looking lost, and in Formula One, standing still is just a polite way of saying you are falling behind. With Max Verstappen and Isaac Hadjar struggling in what they've bluntly called a terrible chassis, Red Bull is officially in crisis mode. But instead of throwing the whole kitchen sink out, they are playing their trump card, poaching internal talent. In a calculated move to salvage their 2026 season, Red Bull has poached Andrea Landi from their sister squad, Racing Bulls. Now, why does this matter? Well, while the main team has been busy building a rocket ship engine only to bolt it onto a chassis that handles like a brick, the folks over at Racing Bulls have been quietly designing cars that are actually driver-friendly. By pulling Landi, a guy who is essentially running the show as deputy technical director, straight into the senior leadership alongside Ben Waterhouse, Red Bull is effectively admitting they've lost their design compass. It is a classic if you can't beat them. Hire the maneuver, made possible only because they own both teams and can bypass that soul-crushing gardening leave that kills momentum at other outfits. It is a bold reshuffle, but you have to wonder, is this just rearranging deck chairs on a sinking ship, or will Landi's expertise be the silver bullet that helps Verstappen fight his way back to the front? Drop a comment below and let me know. Can Red Bull actually fix this disaster mid-season, or is the era of the Bull finally over? If you love deep dives into the technical side of F1, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Imagine your right-hand man, the person who knows every single quirk, strategy, and pressure point you have, suddenly tells you he's heading to your biggest rival. That's exactly the reality Max Verstappen is facing. The Formula One paddock is still reeling from the bombshell that Gianpiero Lambiase, Max's longtime race engineer, and arguably the most important voice in his ear, is jumping ship to McLaren in 2028. It is a massive shift that leaves everyone asking, is this the beginning of the end for the Red Bull dynasty? Speaking at an event in Amsterdam, Max didn't sound like a man betrayed. In fact, he was remarkably pragmatic. He revealed that Lambiase actually came to him for his blessing before signing the deal. Max's reaction: he told him, "You'd be stupid not to take it." It is a testament to the bond they have built. Max acknowledged that they have already conquered everything they set out to achieve together. When you have nothing left to prove, looking out for the security and future of your team members, even those headed to the competition, is a rare display of maturity. But here is where the plot thickens. Lambiase isn't going to McLaren until 2028, meaning he will serve out a long period of gardening leave. Meanwhile, Tom Hart is stepping up to take the reins at Red Bull, and not everyone thinks this slow transition is a good idea. Dutch driver Tom Coronel argued on the Racing News 365 podcast that Red Bull should push Lambiase out the door as soon as possible. His point is logical. Why keep someone on the inside when they're destined for a rival? In the cutthroat world of F1, information is the most valuable currency, and Red Bull surely doesn't want their secret sauce making its way over to Woking. So, is this just a professional career move, or is it a sign that the walls are closing in on Red Bull? Will we see a forced early exit for Lambiase, Or will they try to squeeze every last drop of expertise out of him before he leaves? I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments if you think Red Bull should cut ties now, or if Max can handle the transition. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that subscribe button to keep up with the fast-paced world of F1. After all, in this sport, the most interesting races often happen behind the scenes.